Daily stock market update on the 2nd of January. It looks like a euphoric start to the year. Be careful. It certainly means if you're not sorting out your pension, you've got even more reason to do so because you don't want to miss another good year. There's no guarantee it will be, but the start of the year always a little bit the most disconcerting, and it looks like the markets are positive. So start with the UK, then we'll go to the US on all of this. FTSE 100, modest gains, all-time highs. The new investors are putting fresh money in. Now, it's benefited from several things. First of all, most of the profits of FTSE 100 companies are in US dollars, and the currency variation has meant that they can report back in higher pounds. Okay. So that, to some extent, has helped because they've been earning more dollars abroad. And it's not been hampered by marginal currency fluctuations. It's actually not done any harm at all. And secondly, minerals, mining, gold, and gold likely to go up. It looks like gold will continue. The two main sources I have for gold, and I'm not a gold expert by any means, there's an individual who's been buying it for many years, and he's told us from over a year ago when, as you'll know if you follow my broadcast, my wife bought some gold coins. They've been continuing to go upwards and wish we'd bought more. And also, more recently, spoke to a gold refiner who does a lot of business out of the Middle East in gold refining and out of India. And he said it's Chinese central bank buying, and he doesn't see that slowing down either. So that doesn't mean I'd look to do a trade in gold. A trade in gold would mean I own more than 5% of my portfolio in gold. I don't. Never have. Probably never will. Not since I wrote my columns in the Financial Times to say 5% is about the right amount. Similar with the FTSE 100, if you want to have exposure to the index because you feel that you've not got exposure to the index, then as you will know, it's something in my weekly market updates, my webinars, my weekly webinars, I cover every week and I've done for over a week. Again, you treat it like any other security. If you have 20 securities, you'd have 5% in this one. In terms of January buying, it's certainly more deliberate, obviously, than December's window dressing. So it's a bigger signal that more money's going in. Moves today matter more than recent sessions because it's the first trading day of the year. UK equities do start off 2026 as relatively cheap, under-owned, boring, a combination that historically has aged well. Now, as you know, the way I invest is I put UK equities together with all American ones, all global ones, which are listed on the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, London Stock Exchange, BAT, so those European companies listed in London or accessible through London, all 10,000 securities that can go into my SIP or pension. And then I decide which are the best 20 or 30 or 40. And if the UK makes the cut, so be it. Rarely does. UK companies rarely do. Doesn't mean UK companies can't go up. But they have to fight in a global amphitheater to get into my pension. Just so you know, I don't make a gamble on a racist basis or a nationalist basis that, I want British companies because they're British. It's not how it works. US markets, S&P 500, NASDAQ and the Dow, the futures were higher when the market's now been open for an hour and it all looks very positive. Indices are all near all-time highs, but the tolerance for disappointment is low. In other words, if any company has earnings, and we're not in earnings season at the moment, but there are a couple of earnings coming out. I think ExxonMobil are coming out today. They're going to get punished, and you can expect 16, 20% drops, but you should only have the kind of companies you want to buy more of were that to happen. The kind of companies where an earnings disappointment would be short-term, the company is well-founded, rather than the earnings disappointment is part of something which suggests that the company is just going to be another BlackBerry. The market now needs more breadth to be healthier. It's considered healthier if it's not just a few companies making it rise higher, not just the mega caps. You'd want some of the mid caps as well. So we've got to be careful. If that breadth doesn't happen, then just Nvidia having a sneeze could make the market look very wobbly. Volatility, you would expect as real money replaces holiday apathy for volatility to increase. So hold your horses, don't panic. The best way not to panic is have good quality companies to begin with, the kind that are in our Quality 5 Plus. If you want to learn more about that, have a look at the link in the bio. Macro developments, soft landing, in other words, no recession, remains most likely. That's our most likely outlook. That's a benign background, which means our stock should continue doing well. Okay, this is where that belief, now that we've got the 2nd of January, starts getting grounded by price honesty. When people start putting their money where their mouth is, we'll see if they really do believe what I've just said and that there's a benign macroeconomic background. Expectations are pretty stable. They're not over exuberant. That means that surprises to the upside should see stocks rocket to the upside, but it also means any surprises to the downside, earnings not coming through, could get very uncomfortable. The global picture, we're looking at growth stability, looking at global growth. We're not looking at acceleration, and that's important. Stability is good for the market. Acceleration would mean a quick pop. And we don't want quick pops because we want the party to go on longer. We don't just want to have a great 5 minutes at the party and then nothing to do the rest of the year. Interest rates, the Bank of England's easing bias, in other words, reducing interest rates, that's supporting the stock market as well. Further upside will now depend on profits rather than economic policy being generous. We're going to start looking away from, is the Bank of England going to continue cutting interest rates, and start looking at, are these companies able to stand on their own 2 feet, and what do their profits look like? Because up till now, we've been buying those companies because of mineral profits and because of interest rate cuts. But now we're going to look at those companies more closely. And that's why it's pretty rare for the UK to outperform the US 2 years running. I think it's happened once in the last 30 years. Okay. The Federal Reserve begins 2026. Firmly, turning to the US, on hold, right? So don't expect interest rate cuts to happen immediately, but as long as they don't say there's no more, then we'll be fine. The rate tailwind has faded into a bit of a memory. That's supportive, but no longer a free lunch. In other words, we are going to be a bit more worried about when they're going to stop cutting interest rates. And that's really the big story. Everything else is noise. All the other things you hear on social media are noise. Has the Federal Reserve, the US central bank, stopped cutting interest rates? No, not yet. The music is still playing, so we can continue playing musical chairs. Okay, my job's to listen out for the music. Commodities, oil, boxed in, low to $60. That's fine. No problem for the stock market when that happens. No problem for consumers in terms of any cost to them. No problem for businesses. Airlines don't have problems when oil's at $60. Gold, new record highs. It looks like it's going to continue because of central bank demand. So there you go. But how much, you got to make a decision. How much gold do you want? Do you want to trade it? I don't want to trade it. In which case 5% of your portfolio is long term. Gold's not panicking, but it's not relaxing either. Okay. Bitcoin, pretty quiet at the moment. Below, obviously, its highs. I'm going to do a separate video on YouTube and on TikTok on crypto a little bit later on. It's not euphoric. It had a down year last year, so it's not euphoric at the moment into 2026. So we'll see what happens. I've got an event at JP Morgan Private Bank this January, and I'll tell you what they say about crypto because they're fairly bullish on crypto, and institutionally there's more exchange traded funds. Should be a good year for crypto, but you would have said that this time last year, I guess. Major stocks, major themes, mega caps, they're still dominant. I don't have a problem with that. Think of the mega cap companies like the new Dutch East India's company or the British East India Company. Companies are the monopolies which build empires. And at the moment, the ones building the American empire are Nvidia, Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Alphabet. I own all of them. I also happen to have JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. They're also the new East India companies taking all the wealth from around the world, bringing it back to the United States. Okay. And the American empire is, certainly the economic empire, is alive and kicking and quite strong. Their stock market at all-time highs being evidence of that. We can now become shareholders in it, and I'm fine to be doing that, but not because it's American, not because of ethical or unethical reasons or immoral reasons, but simply because I look at our Excel spreadsheet of value, growth, income, and I say, if you're interested, have a look at the links in the bio, have a look at campaignforamillion.com. UK banks and energy, they've been the early beneficiaries of January inflows as investors seek a bit more yield, balance sheet strength, bit of realism. Those who are thinking, I'm not so sure about the rest of the world. I'm not sure about this American story. Well, UK banks and energy companies are the safe bet for them. The danger being they miss out on higher growth. Defensives, healthcare and staples remain quietly bid. It's not bullish behavior. It's just sensible behavior. So people are going more into healthcare in the UK. These are the more conservative voices. Now, you've got a lot of big fund managers who are going to be more conservative. They're not going to get great returns. So this is not for me. It's more for people who are a bit soporific. Okay, stock-specific news. January rotation begins. Fresh capital coming in. Reduced distortion into just a few sectors. But there'll be less tolerance for lazy narratives. Okay, it's basically you're not earning, you're falling. Okay, so January doesn't care about December's feelings. Rates have now stopped helping. Now companies have to do the heavy lifting. Gold is calm. It's not convinced. So it's not euphoric. This is where narrow markets will get exposed. The companies outside the narrow few who have made us all our money last year, they better deliver. If they don't, they shouldn't be in our portfolio. The ones we've got, I'm more than happy with to continue holding. But no more free lunch, I think, in 2026 is the bottom line. Okay, that's the market update. I want you to do me two favors. Have a look at campaignforamillion.com. It really makes these videos worthwhile for me because it helps our SEO and we get our blogs, our articles out to a broader audience. More people learn. It's part of my campaign to teach 1 million people how to be better investors around the world and add an extra 1 million to their pensions across their lifetimes. 1 million times 1 million, trillion. Noble cause to undertake. Separately, I'd like you to comment on this video or like it or save it, because if you do that, the algorithm from YouTube and TikTok sends it to more people. If it sends it to more people, has more views, I will do more of these for free. Otherwise, I'll stop doing them because there's no point talking to an empty room. So if you'd like them for free, just comment, just save, like, repost. All of those things have an impact on the TikTok, YouTube algorithm to send it to more people. That way, more people get it for free, so I'm happy. I see more viewers, so I'm happy. You continue getting this for free, so you're happy. Everybody's happy. Okay? It is a socialist, communist nirvana if you do that. So please, like, comment, save, watch, all the rest of it. Watch it again. That'll help as well. Thank you all very much. I will leave you with this bottom line. The holiday fog has lifted. From today onwards, markets have no excuses. January is where conviction meets consequence. Think about it. Thank you very much.